Hey guys, I'm Trent, machinist and designer at Parker Mount Machine, and this is my gear breakdown. All right, let's jump into a detailed breakdown of my gear, what I run and why I run it. So for my primary handgun, again, I'm working out of concealment a majority of the time, so I use a T-Rex Arms sidecar holster. My primary pistol is a compact SIG P320. Starting from the top, I have an Aimpoint Acro P2, enclosed emitter, super durable. I feel like I can really trust this thing in any situation. For iron sights, I have our new backup iron sights. The rear sight uses our IDRS profile, so a very low profile that doesn't obscure the window, has sort of a lower third co-witness height to it. I find it to be really nice, especially with the smaller window on the Acro. Using our 3.9-inch compact tardigrade frame with no comp. I've shot like this pretty much since I started. I did run our micro comp for a long time, but I went back to an uncomp pistol just to really solidify the fundamentals of grip, recoil management, just marksmanship in general, and it's made me a significantly better shooter. For the frame, I have a standard X-Carry compact grip. It's got our carry stipple package that Travis does. It's absolutely amazing. It's very similar to the stipple on our Glock builds, but not quite as aggressive. For a light, I use a Streamlight TLR7A. I like the compact size. It's not super long, protruding, uncomfortable places. I also find the switches to be the easiest to actuate for me. Strong hand, weak hand, any situation. So 15-round magazine in the gun at all times. For my backup mag, 17-round magazine with a prototype base plate. This doesn't add capacity to the handgun, but it does fill up the space left by a 17-round mag. It also gives you a little bit more purchase for reloads. When I do choose to run outside the waistband, I don't like to run a typical battle belt. Having a bunch of extra gear with me just drives me crazy. I like to not worry about things and stress out when I go to the range. I just want to have fun and get good training in. So I will take a Safariland UBL and ALS holster, run that right through my EDC belt. I use a T-Rex Arms leg strap with the Edgar Sherman Swiveler. It's super comfortable, keeps things moving freely. For my sort of range gun, I run a standard PMM tardigrade with a RMR IDRS cut on a SIG AXG aluminum grip for a light TLR1 HL. For extra mags and gear at the range, I'll use a Spiritus Arms Just-A-Pouch. Again, I'll weave that right through my EDC belt so I don't have to worry about bringing extra kit with me. In here I've got a spare rifle mag, pistol mag, tourniquet on a T-Rex Arms dangler, and I also use the Tracer Tactical Viper adapter for the actual flap. Let's jump into my primary rifle build. We're gonna work butt to tip this time. At the back I got a Magpul MOE SL stock. That's connected to a Viltor A5 receiver extension with buffer spring and A5 buffer. Moving forward, standard mil-spec upper and lower receiver, nothing special there, gets the job done. For grip, I run the Reptilia CQG grip. Safety, I have a Radian ambidextrous safety that I run at 90 degrees, as God intended. For trigger, I use the Geissele G2S two-stage trigger. It's affordable and it feels exactly like the higher-end Geissele triggers, so it allows me to run them on all my rifles. So I have a consistent trigger pull on pretty much anything that I shoot on a daily basis. Next up, we have our PMM AR-15 magwell. This was painstakingly machined to be as low profile as possible, yet still add a huge funnel for super consistent reloads. It's machined from 6061 aluminum, so it's going to be extremely durable compared to other offerings out there. So majority of the time, I'll have a Gen 3 20-round PMag with our 5-round PMag extension on there. I like the reduced size, especially when shooting in the prone or shooting from a bipod. It's also kind of a happy medium in terms of size and weight for, you know, longer hikes with the rifle, patrols or whatnot, as well as having a few extra rounds on hand. Another good reason to run the extended base plate would be to differentiate from various ammo types. So if you're running match grade ammo, if you're running these on 300 blackout guns, it could differentiate between subs and supers, however you want to run it. So moving on, I use a Vortex Razor 1-6. This is second focal plane, super simple reticle, mill hashes on it. I've taken this build out to Ridgeline for a mid-range carbine course, pushing 300-400 yards very comfortably with it. I find that it suits just about anything I'm probably ever going to need to do with this rifle. So the Razor is sitting in a 1.54 inch height scope mount. That's by far the most comfortable for working in the prone for extended period of time, as well as getting just a consistent cheek weld in regular shooting. All right, moving forward a little closer to the business end. Underneath this cheapo M-LOK handguard is a BCM 14.5 inch lightweight profile barrel. It is a mid-length gas system. Coupled with the A5 buffer extension, this thing shoots incredibly soft, and it's been very reliable for me. I find this lightweight profile to balance extremely well. I think everyone notices as soon as they pick it up just how light this thing is, as well as still being very capable still. Moving forward, we have a M-LOK meat hook. This thing gives me the perfect control over the rifle, fits my hand perfectly. It's also an incredible barrier stop. Meat hook just doesn't care. Throw it on whatever you want. Last but not least, for muzzle device, I have a reared end manufacturing 3-prong flash hider that also serves as a suppressor host. So last but not least, keeping things under control, Edgar Sherman's design sling in Multicam Tropic. I run a QD on the stock with their paracord guide up front, just to keep things quiet and minimal, to not get in the way. Having the QD on the rear allows me to split the receivers apart for maintenance or travel, whatever it may be. I like having that option without having to undo tri-glides or paracord, whatever else. I run the front attachment point pretty close to the receiver because it just hugs my body a little bit more securely. You trade off a little bit of stability, not being able to use it typically as you would mounted near the end of the rifle, but that's just what I found works best for me. So to wrap things up, I've got a PMM oversized bolt catch with the forward offset. I find it to be better for right-handed shooters coming up with your thumb, having a huge paddle to hit that, drop the bolt after a reload. And that is my rifle build.